If you're looking to level up your financial knowledge, this book is one of the best books you can read. Rich Dad Poor Dad is written by Robert T. Kiyosaki. When writing this book, Robert Kiyosaki found himself reflecting on his life and how he had come to find the mindset that would set him free. The book was titled based on the two father figures in Kiyosaki's life. In this book, Robert lets us peek into the different mentality of his poor dad and his rich dad when it comes to money. The poor dad was his own father, while the rich dad was the father of his friend. Both men had varied outlooks, different financial situations, and different ties to Kiyosaki, but combined, they taught him his greatest lessons. Wealth is not merely something that comes from a coin, and all that glimmers isn't gold, but you do need it to support the things that do bring you happiness. It's a simple concept. Make money to support your dreams, but don't make your dreams hunger for your money. The key is making passive income. Although it boils down to three key concepts. First is that rich people make money work for them. Second is that you don't need a high income to be rich. And third, you have everything you need to get wealthy. These statements, although motivating, lead to more questions. How being the biggest of them all. That's where Kiyosaki's book comes in. He breaks this down into some easy-to-understand areas, and these 6 lessons are the core of the book. Be sure to listen carefully because this will help you to create the happiest, healthiest, and wealthiest you. Lesson 1. The rich don't work for money. Do you hate working 9 to 5 but you can't leave that job? I have news for you. That's what it looks like when you're working for money. Do you know why the rich have all the time to play golf, go with their family on vacation, and do activities they enjoy doing? Working for a living is so overrated. The new way is to lay back and relax while others assess and work for you. Okay, that's not strictly true, but they do work in different ways. The rich know that the most valuable asset in life is their time, so they invest it carefully, like how they carefully invest their money. While most people party on weekends, the rich spend their time planning or growing their business. They're busy building their system of passive income. Passive income is a better alternative for working for money. Keep in mind that it is not easy to do, but I assure you that it is worth doing. Think about what you can do to make money that you only need to do once and will keep making you money after you finish setting it up. That's passive income. The key to passive income is setting up a system that you give value to other people. Either you solve their problems or you give what they need or want. Kiyosaki's book also tells us these management skills you need for your success. 1. Management of cash flow. How to manage the income and expenses of your business. 2. Management of systems. How you manage your business system. 3. Management of people. How you manage your employees and clients. In the end, he adds an important lesson. You need to get the right mindset. You need to learn about financial literacy, which brings us to his next lesson. Lesson 2. Why teach financial literacy? Most people never get wealthy simply because they are not trained financially to recognize opportunities right in front of them, says Kiyosaki. One of the most valuable lessons you can get from this book is the idea of asset and liability. Rich Dad emphasized that if you want to get rich, you must know the difference between assets and liabilities, and you have to acquire assets in order to get rich. What is an asset? In simple terms, assets are those that put money into your pocket. Liabilities, on the other hand, are those that take money from your pocket. For example, you bought a PS4 and you rented it for $2 per hour, then that PS4 is your asset. However, if you bought a PS4 and you played with it for 12 hours a day, then that PS4 is a liability. Not only did it take money from your pocket, but it also took 12 hours of your time. Remember that time is your most valuable asset. In Kiyosaki's personal experience, he says that your financial genius requires both technical knowledge as well as courage, and this isn't something that enough people are taught. He says that financial intelligence is simply having more options, because education is more valuable than money in the long run. Kiyosaki says that there is a difference between being poor and being broke. Broke is temporary, poor is eternal. and he couldn't be more right. The secret is financial literacy. Lesson 3. Mind your own business. Kiyosaki believes that true wealth isn't just about money. Wealth is about education and finding a balance. Most people cling to their 9-to-5 job because they feel secure, and because of that, most of them are prisoners of their paycheck. Many people lose their job because of the coronavirus pandemic. Events like that are one of the reasons why you shouldn't rely solely on your paycheck. Most of them blame the company they're working for, but nobody blames themselves. They put themselves in that situation because they didn't mind their own business. They work for everybody else but themselves. They spent most of their energy on someone else's business. By minding your own business, Kiyosaki means keep building your own assets, but don't quit your day job. We spent far too long on other people, replicating them and increasing their success. Kiyosaki's philosophy is to build your own success, aka mind your own business. Lesson 4. The history of taxes and the power of corporations. Most of us want to own everything. But the problem is that everything is taxed. The government wants a piece of everything you do or everything you possess. Have you ever wondered why the more you work, the more you get taxed? Frustrating, isn't it? If you buy something, you have to pay tax. Even if you die, you have to pay tax. Tax is not bad if it's used for the greater good, but the problem with the government is that they consist of the same people who want to own everything, and they always want more. We pay tax based on profit, less tax. No, that does not mean do nothing. It means find legal and viable ways to shift your money. That's what the rich have been doing for years. The power of corporations comes with the way they pay their taxes. Corporations pay their taxes based on the profit after they deducted the expenses of running the corporation. For example, they made $1 million profit. Their cost of operation is $800,000. They will only get taxed for the $200,000 profit. So how do they cheat the system if they still have to pay their taxes? If they want to buy a car, they can write it as a corporate expense. If they want to eat at a fancy restaurant, they can write it as a business lunch meeting. However, the car they bought is not technically owned by them, it belongs to the corporation in which they own. And if somebody wants a piece of their wealth, they have to go through a series of legal protection only to find out that the wealthy person owns nothing. Lesson 5. The rich invent money. Many people think they need money to create money. I'm telling you, it's total BS. I grew up in the buy and sell business, and sometimes all I have to do is ask the person to let me sell properties they wanted to sell. For example, someone asked me to sell their watch for $2,000. If I can sell that watch for $2,500, I make $500. Not only did I make $500 on the watch, but I also helped the other person to sell their watch, and sometimes they also give me a commission for selling the watch. That is similarly how the rich invent money. They literally find ways to create cash. Whether this is inventing a new product or by selling you an idea, they take the power of their minds and turn it into something physical. And they also invest it properly. Kiyosaki recommends the acquisition of assets, specifically in these 7 categories. 1. Businesses that do not require your presence. You own them, but they are managed or run by other people. 2. Stocks. That's the capital raised by a company or corporation through the production, issue, and subscription of shares to members or outside the company. 3. Bonds. Things like loans, mutual funds, or private investments. 4. Income-generating real estate, renting, hotels, or other overnight venues. 5. Notes or IOUs. 6. Royalties from intellectual property such as music, scripts, and patents. 7. Anything else that has value and can either produce income or appreciates in value and, crucially, has a ready market, meaning you can turn it around quickly if need be. He also noted that those with less success are the ones who purchase personal luxuries first, whereas the wealthy buy them last, after they've earned it. They know the value of delayed gratification, and you should too. That means rewarding yourself for your success instead of motivating yourself with treats you don't really deserve. Lesson 6. Work to learn. Don't work for money. In school, we're told to get good grades in order to work for big companies and have a high-paying salary. The problem with that is that it teaches us to work for money. In the book, Robert said that there is an old cliche that JOB is an acronym for just over broke. Robert suggests that you work to learn. You work to learn specific skills that will help you in your own business. Remember to mind your own business. One of the most important lessons in this book is to understand the value of learning. Remember the time in your life when you thrived on learning? You need to return to that. Maybe you didn't like school, but there must be a time where you were passionate about learning. Whether it was a hobby or a new interest, that feeling is what you need to make your reward. And remember, often in the real world, it's not the smart who get ahead, but the bold. In the end, money comes and goes, but if you have the education about how money works, you gain power over it and can begin building wealth. And don't forget, these are only a handful of gems in this great book. If you want to read it yourself, which I would suggest, you can look at the description below. I guarantee that it is worth investing your time and money on this book because you will get more in return. If you like this video, please don't forget to leave a like. Subscribe to my channel if you want more book summary videos like this. That way, you'll be notified every time we bring out a new video. What lessons from this book will you apply to your life today? Tell us in the comments section below. Until next time, have an amazing day. See you soon.